They've shown you Rome, they've shown you Venice, but what if I told you that's just the surface? Most travelers only scratch the glittering facade of Italy, missing out on the soul-stirring villages, the ancient alleyways, and the forgotten landscapes that locals secretly adore. Here's the truth no one tells you. The real Italy isn't crowded with tour buses. It's hidden in silence, waiting to be discovered by those who dare to look deeper. This isn't another generic travel guide. It's your invitation to feel Italy like a local, not just visit it like a tourist. We're talking secret islands where time stands still, mountain towns older than some countries, and flavors so rich they could make you cancel your flight home. You'll learn where to go, what to taste, and how to live every moment as if you belong there. So if you've ever felt like your travels were missing something, depth, emotion, real connection, this is your chance to break the script. Forget the filters, forget the travel cliches. This is Italy, revealed through hidden gems, ancient towns, and scenic spots that will leave you breathless. And once you see it this way, you'll never see it the same again. Italy's unique regional diversity. There's something magical about how Italy feels like 20 different countries in one. Each region has its own personality, its own flavor, its own rhythm. Travel up north and you'll hear German-sounding dialects in the Alps, while down south in places like Calabria or Sicily, the local language dances with Arabic and Greek influence. It's a patchwork of history, shaped by ancient conquests and fierce local pride. That's why exploring Italy isn't just a trip, it's a journey through layers of civilization and culture. Let's talk food, for instance. In Liguria, they'll serve you fresh trophy pasta coated in fragrant pesto made from local basil and pine nuts. But hop over to Emilia-Romagna and you're diving into rich lasagnas and handmade tortellini, often paired with a glass of Lambrusco. Every bite tells you a story. It's not just about eating, it's about tasting the soul of a region, shaped by its land, its climate, and its people. And hey, if you're looking for a travel tip, just follow your stomach. The diversity goes far beyond cuisine. The architecture, the traditions, the celebrations, everything shifts from town to town. In Venice, gondolas glide over ancient canals. In Trentino Alto Adige, Christmas markets sparkle beneath snow-capped mountains. Want to see the heartbeat of real Italian culture? Visit a village on a local holiday and watch the streets come alive with music, color, and food. These aren't just destinations, they're expressions of identity. Art and UNESCO World Heritage Sites. Italy isn't just the cradle of Western civilization, it's the vault where the world stores its most treasured masterpieces. From the Roman Colosseum to the Sistine Chapel, from the Leaning Tower of Pisa to the ruins of Pompeii, this country boasts 58 UNESCO sites that whisper stories of empires, revolutions, and rebirth. But what's more impressive, Italy holds nearly 70% of the world's artistic heritage. Yes, you read that right, most of human artistic brilliance lives here. Walk the cobbled streets of Florence and you're walking through a Renaissance symphony. The Uffizi Gallery doesn't just house art, it guards the soul of Michelangelo, Botticelli, and Da Vinci. Meanwhile, in Rome, ancient ruins coexist with Baroque fountains as if time itself paused to admire the view. Art isn't just hung on walls here, it spills into alleyways, churches, even train stations. Every inch of this land is curated with centuries of love and genius. And here's the thing, you don't need to be an art historian to feel it. A simple visit to Assisi, standing before Giotto's frescoes in the Basilica of St. Francis, might stir something inside you, an emotion you can't quite name. That's the power of Italian landmarks. They don't just impress the eyes, they awaken the soul. A little travel tip? Download an audio guide before visiting major sites. Knowing the story behind the brushstrokes can transform your experience entirely. Nature's majesty, volcanoes and mountains. When you think of Italy, you probably picture rolling vineyards and sunlit villas. But let's crank up the drama, because Italy also roars. It's home to some of the world's most iconic volcanoes, Mount Vesuvius, Mount Etna, and the ever-smoldering Stromboli. These giants aren't just geological features, they're characters in Italy's story. Vesuvius alone rewrote history by freezing Pompeii in time. Today, you can stand atop its crater, look into the abyss, and feel the pulse of the earth itself. The north of Italy tells a different tale. The Dolomites rise like jagged cathedrals sculpted by time and snow, casting shadows that stretch across alpine meadows. They're not just scenic, they're sacred. Hikers, climbers, and photographers flock here year-round, especially for the Enrosadira moment, when the peaks blush pink at sunset. Want a tip? trip. Take the cable car in Ortisei and hike the Cicada Ridgeline. You'll think you stepped into a fantasy film. Down south, Etna dominates Sicily with its ever-active presence, spouting ash and lava like it's reciting ancient poetry. But despite the danger, locals have adapted with awe and respect. Vineyards cling to volcanic soil, producing wines with unique mineral richness. It's as if Italy turned nature's wrath into flavor. A wine tasting tour around Etna is unlike anything else. Fiery, fertile, and unforgettable. Gastronomic legacy. Italian cuisine isn't just about food, it's about memory, tradition, and love passed down on wooden spoons. Every dish tells a story, and every region has a different one to share. Naples, the birthplace of pizza, will serve you a margarita so simple it might just change your life. Emilia-Romagna will hand you a bowl of tagliatelle al ragu and quietly dare you to find anything better. And Tuscany, let's just say a glass of Chianti with a plate of wild boar pasta could bring a grown traveler to tears. One of the secrets behind Italy's food culture is its fierce regional loyalty. What grows locally stays local. In Piedmont, they hunt white truffles like buried treasure, literally using trained dogs to sniff them out. In Sicily, the cuisine fuses Arabic spices with Mediterranean freshness. And don't even get an Italian started on olive oil. There's more debate over that than politics. The result? A culinary map where every region is a flavored chapter in a national love letter to food. Take a cooking class in Bologna, or better yet, visit a market with a local chef. You'll learn how to choose the freshest ingredients, knead pasta by hand, and taste with intention. It's not just about cooking, it's about reconnecting with simplicity and craft. And when someone compliments your homemade gnocchi back home, smile and whisper, it's an old Italian secret. Cities steeped in history. To walk through Rome is to time travel. 1 minute you're marveling at the Colosseum, imagining gladiators and roaring crowds. The next, you're sipping espresso near the Pantheon, surrounded by ruins older than your country. Rome doesn't just preserve history, it performs it. Layers of civilization stack atop each other like lasagna, and the deeper you look, the richer it gets. Florence, the heartbeat of the Renaissance, is where genius flourished. Michelangelo sculpted David here. Brunelleschi dared to build the Duomo. Walking across the Ponte Vecchio at sunset, pure magic. Meanwhile, Venice offers a dreamier experience. Its canals and crumbling palazzi whisper secrets of ancient merchants, masked balls, and forbidden love. It's a floating museum, a place where you don't just see beauty, you drift through it. And then there's Verona, Shakespeare's muse, where Romeo and Juliet's balcony draws lovers from across the world. But beyond the drama, you'll find Roman arenas, pink-hued piazzas, and streets made for slow, romantic walks. Every Italian city has a pulse, a rhythm, a song. They invite you not just to visit, but to feel, to belong. Idyllic islands and coastal escapes. There's something timeless about Italy's islands, as if they were sculpted by dreams and dipped in sunlight. Sicily, the largest of them all, is a world unto itself. Greek temples, Arab gardens, Norman cathedrals, and volcanoes all coexisting. Its capital, Palermo, is chaos and beauty intertwined. And in Taormina, you'll find ancient theaters with sea views that rival any postcard. Sardinia is another universe. Its coastline is rugged and wild, kissed by turquoise waves and dotted with hidden coves. Inland, shepherds still make pecorino cheese as their ancestors did centuries ago. Sardinia isn't just a place, it's a rhythm, a heartbeat that slows time. For a deeper escape, the island of Ischia offers thermal springs and healing waters. A day in its natural spas is like pressing the reset button on your soul. Capri, with its dramatic cliffs and glowing blue grotto, has drawn emperors and celebrities for centuries. But despite its glamour, it remains deeply authentic. Local fishermen mend their nets beside luxury yachts, and tiny lemon orchards grow in terraced gardens. A travel tip? Visit early in the morning or stay overnight. That's when the island exhales and shows its true face. Charming villages off the beaten path. While Rome and Venice steal the spotlight, the real magic often lives in the shadows. Tiny villages that seem untouched by time. Take Gubbio, for example. This medieval hill town in Umbria feels like a movie set. Its stone buildings climb the mountain like a staircase to heaven, and locals greet you like a long-lost friend. You don't just visit Gubbio, you become part of its quiet rhythm. Then there's Montepulciano, where rolling vineyards and Renaissance facades welcome wine lovers and dreamers alike. Sipping a glass of Vino Nobile while watching the sunset from Piazza Grande is the kind of moment that stamps itself on your memory. These scenic villages are about presence, slowing down, tasting, smelling, noticing. A great travel tip? Rent a Vespa and cruise through Tuscany's back roads. Every turn reveals a new postcard. Sirmione, perched on the tip of Lake Garda, mixes history with wellness. Its thermal waters have been praised since Roman times, and its fairy tale castle guards the town like a stoic protector. Meanwhile, Portofino offers a slice of coastal perfection. Its harbor, lined with pastel houses and fishing boats, is a haven for artists, romantics, and those chasing stillness with a side of elegance. Outdoor enthusiasts' paradise. Italy isn't just a destination, it's an outdoor playground for the bold and the curious. The Dolomites, with their jagged peaks and alpine trails, offer skiing in winter and hiking heaven in summer. Think crystal lakes, suspension bridges, and panoramic views that make you forget your phone even exists. Cortina d'Ampezzo is a great base, whether you're carving down black diamond slopes or sipping mulled wine by a fire. Head further south and you'll meet the Apennines, Italy's silent spine. These mountains hide national parks where wolves roam and monks meditate in cliffside hermitages. Places like Gran Sasso or Casentino Forest are perfect for unplugging from the world. Want something more casual? Try the trails around Lake Como or hike to the sanctuary of La Verna in Tuscany. And then there's the Amalfi Coast. Yes, it's known for its glamour, but it's also home to rugged paths like the Path of the Gods, a hike so breathtaking it feels like walking on clouds. Start in Balmerano and end in Nocelle, and don't forget your camera. Or better yet, just take it in with your own eyes. Wine and truffle heaven. If there's a heaven for food and wine lovers, it probably smells like Piedmont during truffle season. Picture rolling hills draped in vines, misty mornings, and dogs joyfully unearthing white truffles beneath oak trees. These delicacies are auctioned like diamonds, and with good reason. Their aroma is deep, wild, and unforgettable. And yes, you can join a truffle hunt with a local guide. Just bring boots and curiosity. Tuscany offers its own seduction. Chianti, Brunello di Montalcino, and Vino Nobile aren't just wines. They're works of art in a bottle. Visit a family-run vineyard, and you'll likely end up sharing a meal, swapping stories, and toasting to life under the Tuscan sun. The wine here isn't rushed. It's aged, loved, and served with pride. Pair it with pecorino cheese, wild boar, or fresh pasta, and you'll start to understand Italian culture at its core. Don't overlook lesser-known regions like Umbria or Abruzzo. They're quieter, but equally rich in flavor. In Norcia, black truffles take center stage, while in Montefalco, you'll sip Sagrantino, a bold red wine that almost nobody talks about but everyone should taste. A solid travel tip. Buy a few bottles straight from the producer. The stories they come with are worth just as much as the wine. Spiritual and poetic landscapes. Umbria and La Marche aren't the loudest regions, but they echo the deepest truths. Assisi, perched in the Umbrian hills, radiates calm. It's the birthplace of St. Francis, whose legacy of simplicity and connection with nature lives on in every stone, every breeze. Walk the trail to the Hermitage of the Carceri, and you'll understand why mystics chose this place. The silence speaks volumes. In La Marche, the village of Recanati is a hidden gem with a lyrical soul. It's where the great poet Giacomo Leopardi was born, and his verses still seem to hang in the air like fog at dawn. The landscape here is cinematic. Patchwork fields, sunflower waves, and ancient olive trees bowing to the wind. It's where you don't just see beauty, you feel it. Bring a journal. This is a place that makes you want to write. The spirituality of these regions isn't confined to churches or saints. It lives in daily rituals. A quiet coffee at sunrise, a walk through fields brushed by golden light, a conversation with a local who swears the olive oil cures heartbreak. There's wisdom here, hidden in simplicity, passed down like an old recipe. And if you let it, this land can realign something inside you. Italy has this way of not just showing you the world, but showing you yourself. And after a journey through its diverse regions, ancient towns, poetic landscapes, and unforgettable flavors, you're not the same person who arrived. Now that you've uncovered the Italy most travelers never see, What will you do with it? Will you just scroll past and forget these sacred places exist? Or will you start dreaming bigger, planning not just a vacation, but an experience that transforms the way you see beauty, history, and even yourself? Ask yourself this: when was the last time you truly felt a place? Not just snapped a photo, but connected with the spirit of it? Italy's hidden gems are more than postcard pretty. They're invitations to slow down, taste deeper, breathe wider, and live more fully. So, are you going to keep chasing crowded landmarks, or are you ready to travel with meaning? If this video stirred something inside you, even just a spark, I invite you to stay on this journey with us. Hit that subscribe button, turn on the notifications, and let's keep discovering the corners of the world that most people never even hear about. Because the truth is, the most beautiful places aren't the ones in guidebooks, they're the ones that speak to your soul.